How you doing, guys? It's Damien here. At the end of November, I published a video in which I showed my investments in shares of the CD Projekt company.
CD Projekt stock was at that time one of the most significant positions in my stock market portfolio.
But on Friday, there was a perfect occasion to load more shares at a bargain price. Watch this video to see my transactions and hear the reasons for them.
Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It will help reach more people and will encourage me to give you more useful content.
The bargain was given by the decision of the management of the company.
On Thursday evening, the company published the information that they decided to move the release date of Cyberpunk 2077 game.
That explains the lack of marketing news about Cyberpunk 2077, even though it was just a few months before the original date of the releasing the game.
As you can see from this tweet, this guy was a reason for the change in the date of the release of the game. It's his fault.
But on a more serious note, the reasons are slightly different.
The management of CD Projekt informed on Twitter that the game is complete and playable. There's still work to be done. Night City is massive, full of stories, content and places to visit, but due to the sheer scale and complexity of it all, we need more time to finish playtesting, fixing and polishing. We want Cyberpunk 2077 to be our crowning achievement for this generation, and postponing launch will give us the precious months we need to make the game perfect.
After the announcement of the Cyberpunk 2077 delay, I expected that the next day the share price would plunge. In the past, such an event was the reason for a correction in the stock price. It makes sense because analysts will have to adjust their valuation models, which are based on the cash flow. It should affect their prognosis because of the delay, but the effect can be just a few percent change. The delay will also affect the whole production cycle, so another expected games will potentially move too. For example, scheduled for 2021, multiplayer version of Cyberpunk 2077 will move to 2022. But because I have long-term plans with this company, I decided to take an opportunity from the expected drop in price and increase my position.
Looking at the history of this company, moving the date of release was the right moment to buy more shares. After a few months, price was coming back to the level from before the news about delaying the game. I'm sure that shareholders who bought CD Projekt shares when the Witcher 3 game was postponed did not cry because of their decisions. On Thursday evening, I placed an order to buy an additional 80 shares of CD Projekt company in my Saxo brokerage account for 255.50 zlotys, which was 9.5% below Thursday closing price. Such a significant drop was needed for me to buy shares of CD Projekt.
If the correction in price were less than 9.5%, I would buy nothing.
The next day, the trading opened very low. As you can see in this screenshot, the trade was realized, and because there was so much interest in selling shares, the opening price was even lower. Thanks to that, I bought shares for 253.80 zlotys, which was 10.1% below Thursday closing price.
But it was not the end of my shopping for that day. During Friday's session, I saw that the market is even more irrational than I thought, and I decided to buy more shares in my Polish trading account.
That is why I increased my CD Projekt positions in this account with 2 additional transactions. I bought 25 shares for 246.40 zlotys and 48 shares for 249.50 zlotys.
Since that moment, shares of this company kept growing. The average buying price was 251.24 zlotys, which means that the new positions are up on average 6.07%. It's not too bad. Overall, I bought 153 shares for 38,440 zlotys, or slightly more than $10,000. I do not know if the share price is not going to go down in the coming weeks or months. You cannot be sure anything in the stock market investing, but I love that the company does not want to release something that they are not happy with. It is not a common thing among many gaming companies.
If you think about buying shares of CD Projekt company, you need to be aware that stocks of this company are already after a significant price increase.
I accumulate shares for the long term. However, I plan to reduce the exposure for this company when there is a big enthusiasm in the market about shares of this game developing company. I do not see it yet. Also, there is no guarantee that the share price will continue to go up. Always do your research when deciding to buy shares of any company. Friday's panic slightly reduced the risk of overvaluation of this company. There are still very high expectations about this game.
If it does not sell similarly, like Red Dead Redemption 2, it is going to be a disappointment. And you must know that Red Dead Redemption 2 is the 7th best-selling game of the last decade.
I did not expect such a sell-off, but if the market gives you a gift, it would not be wise to not take advantage of it. The news caused CD Projekt shares to plunge around 10% at the opening bell on Friday morning trading. During the session, shares first went down an additional 3 to 4% and then recovered to around minus 5%. It shows still massive interest in shares of this company. Many people like me felt that it is an excellent time to take more shares for the long term before the release of the Cyberpunk 2077 game. The company focuses on the product. They want to achieve the highest quality of the game. I loved that thing about the company. Delays in this industry are a normal thing. In fact, it gave much free publicity among gamers too. I'm going to prepare for you much detailed analysis of my Polish gaming position so you will understand more why I'm quite an optimistic person about this industry. Let me know, what are you planning? Do you have any money allocated in the shares of this company? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to receive a notification about a new video being published, or feel free to add me on Instagram, Stocks and Freedom. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy investing!